This podcast contains adult language, descriptions of violence, sexual references, and other possibly offensive themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to this episode of Back to the Story, where friends come together to play Dungeons and Dragons. I'll be your DM, Klaus. Let's get started.
When you see God's Rust surrounded by armies,
I'm sorry I couldn't buy us more time.
then know that its dissolution has come near.
I mean, I have great faith in the gods. I think that no matter what happens, they're going to triumph over this.
Then let those who are upon the pinnacle flee to the mountains.
And it's not really our place to judge, but to serve.
And let those who are inside the city depart.
I think if you gave me a few days, I could learn enough deep speech to try.
And let not those who are out in the forest enter it.
I'm an archaeologist. Disrespecting the dead is kind of what I do.
For these are the days of vengeance,
I just want to know what the fuck I am.
to fulfill all that is written.
Do not heed the visions of false prophets. Do not become what they want you to become.
Alright, Scales. It's up to you now. You've got this.
Roger is here, I think.
Hello.
You sound like you're on the other side of the mountain.
Hello.
I was doing some student voice. Do I sound normal?
Yeah, you do now. Episode 67, Trial of Ash and Embers 1. A sunny farm on the edge of the forest is swept with a cool breeze. Children play in the grass next to the field, their eyes bright and unknowing. Their mother stands up from the porch chair to watch a man disembarking a carriage before approaching. He's wearing a suit and carries a briefcase. He looks tired but greets his children with a warm smile and embraces his wife. The winds pick up and clouds churn in the blue sky. A sunny farm on the edge of the forest is swept with a cool breeze. Children play in the grass next to the field, their eyes bright and unknowing. The mother stands up from the porch chair to watch a man disembarking a carriage before approaching. He's wearing a suit and carries a briefcase. He looks tired but greets his children with a warm smile and embraces his wife. The winds pick up and the clouds churn in the blue sky. The vision repeats again. And again. Then once more before stopping. The wife and children frozen in time as the man pulls away, the vision trailing away to nothing, as if walking off a stage. Remembrance of Harris Walker. Previously, as the Bronze Scales explore Baal's heritage and destiny, Vlad, Baal's apparent half-brother, confronted him in the night over who was the true last son of Vladis. To try and uncover more memories, Felix delved into Baal's mind, searching and finding images of Vlad and Baal years ago. But the memory ended suddenly, the images of snow and mountain trailing into void streaming crimson with no clue as to what excised the memory. The Soot Hand told Baal and the Scales about the trial of Ash and Ember as dozens of Iljotun gathered at the ritual site, drums beating, chanting, and in that moment, Felix saw something in the stars. A pattern, perhaps, working quickly to try and decipher it to understand a message of warning. But it was time. As the ritual commenced, the Scales quickly deliberated their options, deciding in the end to continue into the fire. Giving sacrifice, they gained mantles of ash before being transported into Fugus, the land of fire. Here they traveled through white-hot salt flats, briefly dealing with a native merchant, as they saw the massive serpent bones like a mountain range before them. We come back to the story here, moving through the ribs and bones reaching up 100 feet like columns. You are attacked by a patrol of salamanders and a magma elemental. Quickly dispatching them, you reorient yourself. The heat bears down on you, kept at bay by the mantles of ash on your shoulders. The sky is filled with smoke and flames which roll out of the red sun like an angry eye. The white ash has been displaced by your conflict, revealing the red fire salts below stark against the white ash. The bones of the dead Titan are massive, perhaps a mile long and several hundred feet tall in places, and where the chest would be, the bones are broken inward for some great clash long ago. Ball, it is from there that you can sense a beating heart. What would you like to do?
To clarify, have we had a chance to recover from combat?
That's up to you. This is moments after the combat has ended. So not yet, but you could take time if you want it.
I think the first thing Ball would do is, I know that Vlad got hit a lot. Does Vlad look pretty bloody?
He looks a little blooded.
Then I think the first thing Ball would want to do is just kind of gather the party up and make sure everyone's doing okay. So assuming the party gets together and looks around and says, I hope everyone's doing okay. Vlad, are you alright?
Just a scratch. Not to worry.
Does anyone else look obviously kind of roughed up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Sorry, that was Casper, right?
Yeah, I'm down about a little less than 20 points.
It's the same thing, Paul. Ask how you're doing.
Fine, I only have these angels for a few more minutes, so we can keep going. So I get an actual use out of them.
Paul nods and then says, I feel the heart's this way. And we'll start to kind of lead the party in that direction.
Okay. You start moving through the bones that reach up, heading towards this mountain range of bone, and you can start to see where the ivory is marked, been carved in with symbols. Vesper, you can recognize some of them. Symbols of warning in some cases, symbols of protection in others. Less of words, but more of markings of reverence. They're in Ignan. As you continue forward, who's leading this? I assume Ball.
Yeah, Ball will go first. Maybe making a point to stay a little bit ahead of Vlad, since a little bit with protective intentions.
Okay. So Ball and whoever else is kind of up there with him make perception checks.
I will be, because I've got my angels up, so it's a good thing for enemies to run into. Dirty 20.
And Ball.
32.
So Ball, you're moving
Oh no,
forward.
honey, that's a nat 2.
And that's
well, it's still dirty, okay?
Twos are always dirty. As you're moving forward, that dum 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 dum, that beat that you sense, it's partially you're hearing it and partially you can just feel it, sense it. It's hard to explain what sense you're using, but you can tell it's there, and it's throwing you off, and that's all you notice. Vesper, you see some movement up ahead. Looks like another small patrol of these creatures. Looks like 2 of them. You don't see a elemental of any sort, just the 2 of them, but definitely 2 of them.
It's been more than a minute, I'm guessing, since combat.
Yeah, it's probably been a minute or 2.
Okay, so my spiritual weapon is gone. Can I see the creatures or just them moving?
They're kind of moving back and forth between the bones. So you glimpse them for a few seconds here, then they're behind something, then you see them for another couple seconds. They're pretty far away at this point, but you can't see them.
I'm going to hold a Toll the Dead until I see one of them, and then cast it when they're a creature I can see. I might hold up a hand and kind of hush everyone else too while I'm conjuring it. There's more ahead.
Can I see them at this point when she points them out?
It takes a couple seconds, but eventually she can point them out to you.
And how far away?
They're probably a good 600 feet away.
Oh,
they're moving
They're
moving in your direction. They haven't noticed you yet, but they are getting closer.
Do you want to try and sneak up on them?
Some of us can certainly try.
I guess looking around. Well, up ahead, is it kind of the same terrain? Like, are there these kind of giant? I don't know. Are these supposed to be pillars or more like mountainous boulders?
They're pillars of bones. They're like rib cages coming up out of the ground.
Got it. Okay. And are there more of these kinds of rib cages up ahead that we could use as a place to hide behind?
Yeah, there's more bones clustered as you move forward. And at this point, you can start to see, looks like a structure has been built with the bones up ahead. You can kind of see where an entrance might be.
So if there is an area of bone that we could use as cover, that where we could get to before that the other group that's 600 feet away can get to us, then Vol will suggest doing that. Otherwise, Vol will look around and say, maybe we can prepare our ambush here.
I can get a shot at them from pretty far away, but we'd have to get closer first.
I know I'm not the most diplomatic, but I can try talking to them.
I mean, that seems like a bit of a wasted effort.
Probably. Might be distracting, though.
True.
I suppose this is where are we just going to take some positions here behind the bones?
I think so.
I'd like us to try and get closer.
I think maybe, I know you're moving, it's not great, but if Ball and Vlad stay back a little bit, and the other of us sneak, I'm going to have a really hard time of it because I'm surrounded by angels still. But I can always try and stall and distract if you guys want to sneak, and then I'll try, but...
Alright, Ellery and I will go on ahead.
Alright.
So is the plan for Ellery and Amson to sneak ahead?
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to sneak ahead, but I'm not concerned if I don't do a great job.
Are you going with them?
Kind of. I want to be apart from them enough where, if I get seen. So no, not really.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead of them. Yes.
Ahead of them?
Yes.
Maybe off to the side a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that
I want there to be a distance so that you guys are your own group, and then that way if they see me, I'm not going to give you away, but...
Ball, Vlad, and we'll say Felix goes with whoever. Ball, what do you want to do?
Ball's going to... if the suggestion's been for us to stay back, then Ball will kind of try to find one of these rib cages that are large enough to cover his body, where he can still have a view of Ellery. So from this point of view, if you look at the map now, then something like this, where I can still kind of see Ellery.
Sure.
Or sorry, not Ellery. Yeah. Is it Vesper or Ellery that's going on in the front? It's Vesper trying to talk to them, right? Okay, well, so Ball can see either Vesper or Ellery, and go that way he can react.
Okay. And it's one of those things where, you can definitely, Vlad will take position behind a bone as well. Looking ahead of them as they go off, you'll be able to see them, and it's kind of like a boneyard of broken bones as you head towards the largest ones in the distance. So there will be times when you might intermittently not be able to see them, kind of like you would watching someone walking through a forest, but it's just giant titan bones this time. Okay. So we'll say Felix is going to hang back with Ball and Vlad. So Amson and Ellery, if you guys want to give stealth checks. And then Vesper, are you trying to stealth, or what are you trying to do?
Yes. I know it's probably not going to work because I'm surrounded by my spell still. But I don't mind, basically, if they do see me, I'm a distraction, but I am trying to sneak.
Okay. Do it at disadvantage.
Great. Cool. Natural one.
And
So,
Amson and Ellery.
I suppose my 12 is better than that.
Mine is Ellery's backwards, 21.
Okay. So you guys begin moving
Ellery,
forward.
you still have inspiration too, right?
Oh, that's true. What size is that?
It's a D8.
A date.
So that makes it 16.
Much better. Okay. As you guys all move forward, kind of splitting, Amson and Ellery kind of dodging, moving quietly between bones as best they can, and Vesper moving The angels kind of spinning around you are whipping up all of the white ash, leaving a large trail of red, dispersed fire salt beneath you. You don't get but maybe 30 feet before the two individuals stop and kind of hunch down behind a bone looking in your direction. It seems they've noticed you almost immediately.
Cool. I'm going to stop and hold up my hands and just call out in Ignan. Just a standard greeting, just like, hi, I'm not really sure where I'm headed. I think I'm in the entirely wrong place.
Turn back, child. This is sacred lands.
Sacred?
You walk on sacred lands.
And they're beginning to move towards you. They're kind of weaving between bones to grant them some cover, but they're moving towards you.
That's fine. Hands up. It's all good. It's all good. I'm a priestess. Probably not of...
You are no child of Sador. Your blood will be spilt to pay for your sacrilege.
I can leave.
As this conversation is happening, I'm waiting for them to get within approximately 240 feet.
Okay. They'll be there in a few seconds.
And as they're approaching, I'm just trying to prepare Eldritch Blast.
Are any of them armed with bows, or are these melee fighters?
They both have bows out. It looks like they have spears on their back, but they both have bows out and are beginning to knock arrows. When they get about 250, 350 out from you, they're notching their arrows and are drawing back to fire.
Okay, I'm gonna, since I think I'm already using thaumaturgy to carry my voice, I'm going to cast it again and just have these whispers next to their ears. Ignan, kind of, you can't really tell what they're saying. It's ominous whispers.
Okay. They notch back and they release towards you.
Great. Good.
A natural 1 for 1. Slams into the bones, splintering. The other one is 20...
Yeah.
3?
Oh, 23 now, yes. I'm not Ball. I can't decide what my armor class is.
17 piercing damage.
Jesus Christ.
And
are they close enough yet for me to...
They're about 300 feet away, so they're firing from that far.
Okay. Well, I'm continuing to try and sneak forward as this is happening.
Okay, so they get 2 attacks, so they're drawing back up. Amson, Ellery, you guys doing anything? Ball?
Yeah, they're not quite close enough for me to hit them yet, so yeah, just moving forward.
They're a little far away, so I can't really do anything right now.
22 and then higher than that.
Fuck. I mean, you could heal your girlfriend, but that's fine.
22 piercing damage. That's 2 more arrows.
So I don't look good.
Do you take any fire damage at this point? I know you're normally resistant. Okay.
You just said my AC was up, so.
Okay. So instead of 8, you take 4 between those 3.
Cool.
As these large, not quite javelin-sized, but almost javelin-sized arrows come flying through the air. You dodge one of them, but the others slam into you very quickly. Ellery and Amson, you guys have probably at this point moved up. They still haven't noticed you.
Yeah, if they are within my range, I will cast Eldritch Blast with 2 beams at one of them and 1 at the other.
Okay. Amson, you do anything? Ball, you do anything? You can hear the conflict now.
How far am I away from these 2 creatures?
Probably like 200 feet or so, something like that.
And how far away am I from Vesper?
Probably closer. Maybe 100, 150, depending on how far you want to be from them.
Okay, so
I'm probably 60 at most.
Okay, if you want to be closer. Okay.
Yeah, I'll just like take a step just a little bit closer to Vesper so that she's in range for let's go with healing word, because I can't do anything else right now anyways. Make it 4th level? I haven't used a 4th yet, so that's 2, 4, 6, 10, 14 points of healing.
Take it. I'm still worried, but I'll take it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So my first 2 beams of Eldritch Blast were a 17 and a 19.
Both it.
Okay, so that will be not great. 6 points against the first one, force damage, and then 17 to hit, which I'm assuming.
Yeah, that hits.
Or 5 force damage against the second.
All right. At this point, they definitely notice both Amson and Ellery at this point. They are casting spells and attacking, and not that far from the big spinning angel person. Bowler, what are you doing?
Ball would like to, at this stage, looking at, like, nod to Vlad and then try to, like, it's hard without necessarily seeing a map, but if I can have Ball kind of, like, weave through some of the rib cages to kind of get as close to, like, run towards them, but still have cover constantly, or at least sometimes.
Yeah.
And then just dash as my action to get as close as I can.
Okay. So you two nod at each other and kind of jump over the bone you were hiding behind and start sprinting forward, weaving between the bones. So they definitely know you guys are charging towards them, but you're able to kind of end your turn, so to speak, behind cover. But they are, with Vlad and Ball, these 2 big guys, they're definitely taking notice and are starting to take a step or 2 back. Vesper, what are you doing? They're notching more arrows, though they do seem to be moving back.
How close am I to the bones?
There's bones all around. So there's the main bone section is maybe 500 feet away. But there's all around you bones. You're in a forest of them.
Okay. And they're how far from me? I'm just
like
mapping
300 feet ahead.
Fuck, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get behind a bone and use my bonus, or no. I really can't cast from this distance, I don't think. Let me check one spell. Yeah, no. 120 is my guiding bolt. Cool. That's fun. This is really fun. Yeah, I'm gonna duck behind some bones and use my bonus action to hide.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use healer's kit and try to stop bleeding everywhere.
Okay. If you're hiding, make it with disadvantage. I know. Like they can definitely still see an aura, so I don't know if you're going to be able to hide.
As long as I can get cover is really what I'm hoping for. I mean,
you can definitely get cover without rolling anything.
Okay, that's really what I'm aiming for.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
cool.
Yeah, you can definitely duck behind a bone. There's still a spinning aura of angels, so they know where you're at, but they can't see you currently.
And then I'm going to, healer's kit myself, and I'll roll that.
They are starting to pull back at this point. As everyone is kind of trying to get cover as they're moving forward, they're going to pull back and take their turn to do so, and they're going to get behind cover as well. You can hear one of them pull out a horn of some sort. You can hear the as they blow this horn of warning, and they're basically moving back towards the entrance. Amson, Ellery, Ball.
How far away are they now?
They're probably from you 400 feet or so. They didn't fire this turn. They basically are retreating. They're falling back.
How quickly are they moving?
About the same pace as you. They're big, but they're not incredibly fast.
Okay, well, I think I am going to also move forward and take another shot like I did the first time.
Okay.
So that is 25 and 11 for the first 2 beams at one of them.
Okay. Yeah, 25 hits.
And that would be 4 force damage.
Okay.
And then 17 again on the other one.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Okay. You're chipping away at them. They don't seem to be bothered too much as they're making their way back towards the entrance. Amson, Ball.
I'll just keep moving up, because I don't have a lot of range, so...
I think, if they're like 400 feet away, I think the best Ball is going to be able to do at this point is maybe just try to give the party some cover, so seeing that Vesper is kind of roughed up, Ball might just kind of go check in on Vesper.
Okay. Yeah, so Ball, you're moving ahead towards Vesper, who's found some cover. And as we continue forward, they're continuing to drop back. So we might be better off either dropping this into a chase scene if you are still giving chase, or adjudicate this some other way than round by round. So they're basically going to continue to fall back, and you guys can keep pace with them if that's what you want.
I know Ellery can keep sniping all day, but the rest of us, I don't think, unless we start blowing spells that we might not want to blow, since they've already blown their horn, it'll probably just be maybe support Ellery while she does her thing.
And after a round, they're going to start getting cover too, and not letting her do that the entire way back.
She's got some sharpshooter stuff too. I don't know if that'll help.
Yeah, it won't help for total cover, but how do you guys want to handle this? Basically?
I think, I'll keep sniping as long as I can see them, but after that, I'll start using my action to dash. Essentially, I think at that point we're chasing.
Okay, so is everyone saying chase? Is that what you guys are going to do?
Yeah, if Ellery takes off after him, yeah.
Okay, we'll say there's a moment, Ellery, you basically have one more round of sniping before they're going to start making sure they have total cover from you.
I would do that. A natural 1 and 23.
The 23 hits.
That's for 4. And then on the other one, a natural 20.
Hits.
That is for 14.
Did you do damage on the first one?
Yes, so 4 points of damage on the first one, and 14 with the nat 20
okay.
on the second one.
So you guys run forward. Eller, you get 2 more blast weaved in there before they start to get full cover as they're retreating.
And since there was a nat 1 in there, I assume that's a surge?
Yeah, roll that. Beautiful.
Roll that beautiful surge footage?
Surge footage.
71.
Oh, that's my favorite number.
Oh no.
Okay, so again, this strange, this shimmering, almost looks like stone. Cracked stone forms over your skin, the cracks glowing like this golden light. And you have resistance to all damage for a minute.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay, so there's a moment where you guys have kind of, we'll say, gathered up as you're running. Ellery is probably a little ahead as she continued to snipe, but no longer has a shot. What are you guys doing? Continuing to chase? Are you stopping for a second?
Can Felix cast haste on somebody? Possibly Ellery, since she's the other best chance.
I mean, if you think that would be best, I can.
I do, Felix. I do think that would be best.
I think it's a waste, personally, but sure. So he can cast haste on you if you guys want that. What are the rest of you guys doing?
I think it's better to just keep together chasing at this point. Just keep going.
Okay, well, because I can bonus action dash, so I'm going to pull ahead pretty quick, and I kind of want you ahead of me. That's why I was saying haste to double your movement, or add to your movement, because I can go 90 feet around with my action and bonus action.
Right.
Because I want them in range of my angels, but I want you to wear them down before I get to them. So that's why I'm thinking haste, so that you have more shots, and you have...
They're like purposely getting behind cover.
Mm-hmm.
After a few rounds of just taking pot shots from Ellery. They're not going to just... So they're now like running, and then they shift behind a bone, and then running and shift behind a bone. So they're running. What are you guys doing? They're running back towards the entrance. They're blowing a horn. What are you guys doing?
Objectively, unless Ellie's going to be able to catch up with them, then what are we supposed to do here? We're just going to run into the fort blindly? Like, I think at this point, Paul's going to say, like, we're not going to catch them. We should prepare to go in more cautiously.
What does the structure look like that's up ahead?
It's stone, and it's built kind of to interweave in with the bones. It's rough, looks old, it looks almost semi-natural, like the stones were grown. They're not bricks, almost like the stones were grown to interplace between the bones. There's one large entrance that's maybe 30 feet wide and 30 feet tall. No door, just open.
Well, I'm pretty sure company's coming either way, so we should get up there.
Let's get closer to this wall and take some cover and figure out what we're going to do from there.
Okay, so you guys rush forward. If you want to pull ahead, and some of you have the movement to do so if you choose, but otherwise you guys rush forward and get to where you're maybe 200, 250 feet away from them as they are basically reaching the entrance and going inside. You can see it's shadowed from the burning sky above, but you can kind of see in this open chamber as they rush in.
Am I close enough to get one last shot at them as they're rushing inside?
Yeah, the bones are somewhat clear around the entrance.
Okay, so I will do that, same as I did before. Another nat 20 and an 11 against the first one. I'm assuming the 11 does not hit.
No, it doesn't.
That's nice, though. That's 16 points of force damage against that one.
All right. You hit him in the back as he's rushing in.
And then against the second one, that's 21 to hit.
Hits.
For 4 points.
Okay. Rush inside and then into the chamber and then disappear behind a wall on the interior. What do you guys do?
Okay, I think instead of going back and forth, we basically just run up to the place. I assume that they're not going to come out and get killed by us, so we'll kind of reconvene near the entrance.
Okay.
And kind of prepare what we're going to do next.
Okay.
So I assume that we're taking cover behind these bones. But I think Ellery is going to kind of keep an eye on that gate.
Sure. You guys keep in. Good.
Paul, I have a question. Quick question. Where do we need to go from here? Do we need to go into the fort, or do we need to go somewhere else?
Good question. I'm assuming that it probably into the fort, otherwise, I hope.
Yeah, you can feel that doom, 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 as much in your ears as just sensing it somehow, and it's like forward and down from where you are. And you can realize now, as you've gotten closer, this titan serpent skeleton is like half buried in the ground from erosion or whatever the opposite of sedation, or whatever the opposite of erosion is. And so it's this heart foam is forward and then down, maybe 100 feet, 200 feet. It's hard to tell. Something like that.
So I'd communicate that. I say, just say, it's deep below. I think we need to go through there. As I think it was my father, so correct this in post if I'm wrong, but Paul goes, as my father suggested or indicated, it will be protected by these children of this serpent. I believe that is where it lies.
And they definitely know we're here.
So do we bugbear fort this and just go in? And hope it goes better this time? Even though there's fear of us?
You hear giant words from Vlad. They know we're here, so if we charge in, I would like some time to patch my wounds. And you see a few cut marks on his arms. If they know we're here anyway, there's no sense in rushing blindly.
I can help out with that. And I will...
I presume someone translates.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So I will, I guess, touch his knee and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
Touch his ankle?
Yeah, he's 18 feet tall. He starts to get on his knee to present his arm that was cut, and I guess she just touches his ankle instead, as the wound heals up.
That's actually the first time I've cast that, so let me see.
Describe that, please.
So I think there's a little, like, crackle of lightning from my hand to his ankle, I guess, that travels up into his arm.
Does it almost, like, sear the wound closed?
Yeah, probably something like
sort
that.
Of? Okay.
It'll be, like, well, let me see. Let me roll this. That'll be a whole 6 points of healing damage.
That's something. Yeah. There's a little bit of, like, mist, too, that conjures from your hand and sizzles and steams up from his flesh and from the ground nearby. He nods to you, not fully being able to communicate with you, but can do that much.
So do you rest there before moving in, or charge ahead? What are you capable of?
We are capable of much. But you are right, they know we are coming, so I think we should rest.
Gives them more of a chance to prepare.
That's just what I was about to say.
Vesper is bloodied. Vlad is bloodied. Others are bloodied, whose names I don't recall.
Well, if they're going to give us the time to rest up and patch our wounds, then we're gaining an advantage that way as well.
Yeah, but they could also be patching up.
And maybe setting traps.
Mm-hmm.
What if we just took a few minutes?
Okay.
5. Just breathe in, breathe out. Amp ourselves up for the conflict.
I think we can do that.
And he's narratively reminding you guys of the 5-minute rally rules, where you can basically get a short rest in 5 minutes, but you get a point of exhaustion later at some point. I forget how it works.
I thought it was immediately. Is that wrong?
Yeah,
is it immediately? Okay, so the party spends 5 minutes to rally their resolve in the face of coming peril, blah, blah, blah. Get short rest stuff. Healing gain by spending hit die is halved, and all rallying characters suffer 1 point of exhaustion. I'm going to change that rule to the healing dice is not halved, but you do get a point of exhaustion. And the first point is disadvantage on skill checks.
If I... Okay, here's a weird mechanic question with that then. If I don't rally myself, but I help everyone else with my medic ability, which affects their hit dice on a short rest, can I do that if I'm not taking the short rest?
Do you normally have to do that ability during
it just says during a short rest, yeah.
You'd have to take it as well, I'd say. Which I know is weird, but...
Yeah.
I don't know how else to...
I know, that's why I was like, I don't... Okay.
Can we get a sense of how roughed up we are? Like,
yeah, everyone.
Are we making a big fuss over something when we're all basically...
Vlad is a quarter down. But, I mean, he currently has 132 hit points, so he's normally at, like, 150 or something.
Okay.
How's everyone else looking?
I'm at 55 out of 85.
Ball's at 74, but I can always heal up a little bit. Do we have potions? 74 of 90, sorry.
Okay. So you and I are kind of...
healers kit me?
I could healers kit you. I can't do Vlad, but he should be fine. Okay, well, he can suck it up, then he's in triple digits.
I'm fine health-wise. The only thing that I would get back on a short rest is 1 first-level spell slot and my Bardic Inspiration. I only have 1 left, so...
Oh no, I don't have to roll that, actually, because I'm healers, not medic. Yeah, so ball... Oh, fuck yeah, that's max. So 10 plus... for level 11, so 21 hit points back to ball.
What is that?
That's my healer's feat, which is not my medic feat, which is...
Okay.
I was looking at incorrectly. Yeah, my medic feat is the short rest one. My healer's feat is just, I use a healer's kit.
So you guys can take a arduous short rest, a short rest, risk a long rest, or just charge in with nothing.
Ball doesn't need a short rest anymore. I won't get anything away from it. Vlad's pretty full, I think. Like, he's a pretty serious tank, it seems like. Does anyone here need a short rest?
No, if I don't get my ass kicked, I should be fine. Famous last words.
The only big thing that I would want is my bardic inspiration, but I'm fine without it. I've got a lot of other things as well.
Yeah, because like I said, I'm at 55 out of 85, and I don't know if I can justify a point of exhaustion to help myself with that.
Well, once we're in battle, I'll Beacon of Hope anyways, so...
Okay, perfect. And I really only have useful healing spells right now. So, I don't really have combat spells because I felt we were going to be waiting a little bit longer to come here, So no short rest, I think we're good, right?
Yeah, it sounds like we did the equivalent of an arduous rally just by medicing everybody, and now we're just going to go.
And just keep an eye on me, I guess.
While we're taking a moment to breathe, because Ball mentioned names, I just look at him and say, so, your grandmother is Gladys, right? She's your grandma? Am I understanding this correctly?
I'd have to check before I tell you the wrong thing. I don't know if God wants to help me here. Fill me in.
I mean, basically. Not exactly, but sure.
I think Ball will say, I don't really understand it. I suppose. And then Ball kind of is like a uncomfortable, like, nod. Or like just a not so confident nod.
So, is your brother named after her then? I mean, Vladis.
I don't know. Vlad, are you named after Vladis? She would like to know.
In a way, yes. I was the youngest son of Vladis before you. And you're still only half. So perhaps I am still.
Ball communicates that.
You know, that explains a lot. So, are we ready?
It's a good chance for us to do any buff spells. Ball doesn't have any buff spells that last particularly long. Except for maybe Shield of Fate.
Vladis is going to start an arduous rally, basically, at this point, and see if he can get 5 minutes, because he might.
Yeah, sure. The only thing I have that's useful is Death Ward, but we pretty much all have that from Pilgrim anyways. So...
Well, Pilgrim gives you advantage, but it doesn't bring you back to one hit point.
That's right. So I could
it's a little different, but...
well, I don't want to use my last 4th level is the problem. Because I might need that for Revivify. If it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, save that, please.
Yeah. Yep.
Revivify would be... Yeah.
I have Continual Flame. I can catch something on fire if we have 50 gold pieces of ruby dust.
In the
catching
fire
fire here.
Yeah, exactly. And I have Enhanced Ability, but that's concentration. So, if anyone dies, I can Gentle Repose. That's about it.
Okay, so buff-wise, Vesper is low on health, so Ball will just cast Shield of Faith on her first level.
Thanks.
So at least you've got something. Anyone else has any buffs we want to do? Otherwise, we can go in.
Okay. So how are you moving in? What's the marching order? Are you trying to be quiet? Are you rushing in? What's the deal?
I think the goal here, I mean, they know we're here, so it'll be more of not quiet so they don't know we're coming, but more quiet, like going in cautious. So Ball, for example, will be going in while casting, or maybe just kind of like turning corners and casting Blade Ward on himself. And doing that while he slowly kind of leads the way. Maybe, I assume, with Vlad being big and tanky, he might be kind of alongside Ball.
Yeah, he's probably towards the front. Giant, jagged obsidian claymore out.
I think we want to keep Vesper towards the back, probably.
I'll be in the back with Vesper.
And I guess Ellery behind the big boys?
Okay, and Felix will be behind you, or beside you. We'll do that. So you guys move into the entrance, and there's a large chamber of stone. You can see similar symbols written upon the intermittent bones, where it looks like the rock has been grown in between them. These symbols have a slight glow to them, a slight burn. Where Ball, you can hear the thum, 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 thum. And as you guys are moving in, the rest of you guys can hear it as well. Distantly, the sound from below, deep and vibrating. The chamber has a wall separating, where you can go to the left or to the right around it. Creeping around the corner, blade ward at the ready, you come around and see the chamber is kind of divided in half by this wall, where there's murals upon it of a great serpent wrapping around the what looks like a world. On the other side, there's a hallway, but it only goes about 10 feet before there's a large stone doorway, it looks like, ruined with ignan symbols.
There's like a large stone in the middle?
Yeah, and it's about 20 feet high, or 20 feet in diameter. This large stone doorway. It looks like it's circular.
What do the symbols say?
Praise the altar of blood. Raise the children of Sadal. Blessed be his return. Blessed be the beating heart. Rough translation. It doesn't translate in the common well, but something like that.
And the door, or this door I assume is closed?
It's currently closed. It looks like instead of a hinged to the left or the right, there's like a axle, I guess is the right word, going down the center. So it looks like this spins like a rotating in the center, if that makes sense.
Well, I suppose we must get through this doorway, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it will not be as simple as opening it.
Let's try to break it down. Vlad looks at you and positions himself to run and sling his shoulder into it. And is kind of waiting on you to see if you're willing to help.
You see Ball looks like a little unsure about this idea, but kind of see like one of those oh, what the heck, and then kind of nods, takes a few steps back and gets ready to kind of charge with him.
Roll athletics.
That's a 26.
So Ball and Flag charge, slamming their shoulders or kicking into the door on one side. It budges a couple inches. You can hear there's something being pushed behind it, but it doesn't move. Or rather, it moves a few inches, but doesn't open enough for you to see through it.
So there's no hole anywhere, even the smallest of holes.
There's a very small, maybe a quarter-inch crack where you can see. It looks like, or it feels like something was jammed behind this doorway to keep it from moving. You can hear whispers on the other side and feel the door being pushed back into place.
Maybe worth it to try again, but it's certainly there. And then Ball will kind of take a step back, get ready to do it again, and wait for Vlad.
Are they ready? As he looks to the rest of your party.
Are you all ready?
I'm holding Eldritch Blast again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a Toll the Dead prepared.
I'm gonna take
for whoever Ellery hits first.
I'm gonna take the dodge action.
Okay. Ball and Vlad make athletics checks.
It's another 26.
Okay. He pushes back a couple more inches, and you'll keep pushing, straining against it, digging your heels into the ash and dirt, pushing as it slowly... You can hear others on the other side straining against you, and something maybe leveraged against on the other side being pushed back as well, as the door slowly opening. And you guys can see through the cracks and see the movement of a few creatures on the other side. Roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Bad.
Mm.
Good thing I'm the healer.
True.
And I do have a prepared action, so that helps.
There's Ellery's token dirty 20 initiative.
So you guys move yourselves where you would be on this map here.
And that's the doorway just to the south. Is that right?
No, to the right.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so then we'll just be in front, kind of the way.
7. Vesper. Dirty 20. Ellery also always has crazy initiatives somehow. Hampson, 11. 14, that's pretty high for a ball. And Vlad got a natural 20, but he's not very fast. Alright, so first up is going to be this person. And Ellery, you're up.
I'm back.
So is this person doing something, or am I...
Yeah, so this person's rushing up and is attacking Vlad. And isn't able to get through his armor. That brings us up to Ellery. As he's taking his spear and striking at Vlad, but just the first one hits his armor, the second one he bats away with his offhand. Bring us to Ellery.
With the big boys in between me and them, I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to get a shot off at anyone, but I'm going to kind of run forward to the edge of this doorway, kind of like right next to Ball, and see if I can get a shot past him towards the one that is attacking Vlad.
You'd have to basically move through Ball's space to be able to get a shot off. You'd have to get to the other side.
That's not great.
Can you see the one upper guy?
Yeah, I can see both of them, but I mean...
I meant, can you kind of... Here, I'll draw the arrow. Like that?
Yeah. I mean, I can see him, but...
No, I know, but can you squeeze past, do you think, Klaus?
Between Ball and that wall, she wouldn't have a shot. I'd say if she missed, it would 100% hit Ball or someone.
You can always hold an action, so as soon as there's an opening to do something.
Yeah, see, this is why I hate rolling such high initiatives, because I'm always stuck in a place where I can't actually do anything on my first turn.
I mean, you are allowed to kind of... I'm pretty sure it is an option to just kind of move your initiative lower. I'm pretty sure that's a legal thing to do.
You can hold your action. You can ready an action. You can also use some of your movement to get to the other side of Ball and fire. I don't know if you'll have enough movement to get back behind him. But you might could step to the side.
Or you can buff.
Yeah.
Or you could hold your action. Or you could do what Alex said.
I think the best thing for now is just to hold my action.
Okay, what are you holding?
Eldritch Blast.
Okay. So you're holding that, trying to get a shot off, but Ball and Vlad are right next to each other and it's hard. That will bring us up to Vlad. That is a 9 for a 19 and a nat 20, so he's dealing. I'm going to roll this in the chat because good heavens.
Rookie numbers.
The one standing in front of Vlad, he drives the claymore in a wide sweep, almost hitting you, Ball, but you're duck out of the way as it slashes into the shoulder and across the chest. And as the salamander is pushed back, kind of reeling, he drives it forward and almost an uppercut slash, driving through the center of him, lifting him up off the air before slinging him down. The limp body slung off to the side. That one's dead. And that will bring us up to this one, who didn't like that. And Ball, you're going to be on deck. So this one's going to attack you, Ball. To there instead. 24 and a 17.
As a reaction, Ball will use shield, so they do not hit.
Okay. So the spear thrusts quick towards you, but the fire shield knocks them both away. And they're going to then back up a little. It's up to Ball.
I'd like to bonus action use my mantle so I can see what's going on.
Okay. While you burst into flames, revealing this and lighting up this narrow-ish corridor. When you have people the size of Ball and Vlad, it becomes narrow. See light as Ball is now a raging inferno, and you can see on the other side 2 more of these salamander creatures, these cephalopod-like skulls, backing up, one with spear and one with a bow.
I'm going to rush up to the first one. I'll try to move out of the way so I'm going to get to this point. And when I do, I'm going to take out Avelmer and attack using... I don't remember if these guys were firemen. I think there's the other thing. So I'm going to attack using Phoenix Blade.
All right.
There's a natural 20 hit.
Yeet. Yeah, it hits.
I will put just a first level smite in. And then... Sorry, there's a lot of dice to roll here. So in total, that is 25 bludgeoning, 15 radiant, and 18 fire. And then, does Phoenix Blade hit the guy beside? Let me just check that real quick.
The fire doesn't seem to affect them. This one, somewhat wounded from the Eldritch Blast prior, has beaten this creature down as you smash the Avelmar into its side, hearing the crack of whatever bones it might have beneath.
All right, that'll be the end of my turn.
Ellery, you would have a shot off. On red would probably be your best shot.
I can't see any of them from where I'm standing.
My held Toll the Dead, can I release that on the one the Ball just attacked?
Yeah, and you should... Can you see him?
I can. I can see Mr. Orange.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. So he needs to make a wisdom save.
Ooh, natural 18.
Minus...
Nothing, just 18.
God, fine. That'll make it.
Okay. That will bring us up to Amson then. Oh shit, I forgot about Felix. There we go. Amson.
Okay, so it's only these 3 it looks like. So I'll run up to kind of beside Vlad, a little bit further away. And gosh, I don't know. It doesn't look like it's too bad right now, so I'll hold off on the Beacon of Hope. Actually, yeah, I'll just go up a little bit, and then I'll just take the dodge action for now.
Alright, and that will bring us up to Red, who's going to release a bow towards Vlad. 15, and a 18. Both of the large, almost javelin-sized arrows towards Vlad break against the iron armor, splintering off to no effect. And they're going to back off a little bit. This Red drops the bow and starts whispering something, grabbing a symbol that's hanging around their chest on a necklace, or around their neck on a necklace. Words of prayer, it seems.
Are they casting a spell?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
And Felix is gonna do frostbite. That's gonna hit, and that'll bring us up to Vesper.
Cool. I'm gonna go 5, push Felix out of the way, 10, which would be 15, 20. And man, I'm gonna try Toll the Dead on this guy again.
13.
That will not make it. Cool, thanks for the shit damage dice. What's 9 necrotic?
This one, bearing wounds from the Eldritch Blast earlier during the chase and from this heavy hammer from Ball, is looking very rough. They're kind of leaned up against the side of the wall of this hallway. Still standing, but barely.
And then I'm gonna just dash and get inside the hallway and tuck into this corner.
That'll bring us up to Ellery.
Okay, first I say, why did I get up against this fucking doorway? And then I move out so that I can see. And I'll move out just a little bit further. So I'm just in front of Ball, but in front of Vlad, but not in his way. And I'm going to send my Eldritch Blast. Let's start with, 2 beams towards the one that's in front of Ball, and then the 3rd beam towards the other one that's straight ahead.
Go for it. Conjuring these beams of eldritch energy.
That's 18 and 24 against the first one. For 11 points of force damage.
Is that on the first attack?
That's on a total.
Total, okay.
So
that ends
2
up
beams.
Chest and then head as he flies back, slumping onto the ground.
And then on the other one more beam. It does a 13 hit.
Just barely misses. As it and flies towards him and he ducks under it. Shard of ice still on his shoulder from Felix, but just barely managed to dodge that.
Shit. So then I'm going to move up behind Ball with the rest of my movement.
That'll bring us up to Vlad. Who is going to run up, drop the claymore, not to the ground, but just in one hand, his offhand, as he takes his main hand and grabs a javelin off of his shoulders and slings it towards the creature. As it flies through, sinking through the serpentine lower form of this salamander. Dealing some damage, and that will bring us up to Ball. So the Ball, the one you were fighting, smashed, has been killed by Ellery, as Vlad charges over the dead corpse of the other, the third backing up, clutching at a symbol around its neck.
Ball will run up to that one, and when he does, he's going to attack using Booming Blade instead. So with Almer, an 18.
Yeah, that is.
So 15 bludgeoning, and then with the Booming Blade is 8 thunder damage.
This one is hanging on, but is already starting to look pretty rough with a javelin sticking in it, and part of its form crushed by the hammer.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, that brings up to Hampson.
Alright, I'm going to move up about 25 feet, again beside Vlad. There we go, I can't speak. And I forgot that I have a hand crossbow, so I'm going to take out my hand crossbow and shoot it with my hand crossbow, the creature. Which is a 14.
Just hits.
Hey!
Bolt sinks in its snake-like flesh.
That's 6 points of piercing damage.
Anything else for you, Hampson?
No, this guy looks pretty well off, so, yeah. Well done.
That will bring us up to them. As you see the symbol around their neck start to glow as they're whispering words, and you see energy conjuring up in their hands. They reach forward and then pull backwards and almost seem to draw something away from you, Ball. Make a, what is that? A save.
Is this something I can try to counterspell?
You can if you like. It looks like a spell.
I would like to try and counterspell in that case.
It fails. No roll needed.
Damn.
So he reaches out towards Ball, begins pulling energy away, but you quickly, what do you do to disperse it? Do you distract him with something? Do you counteract the magic?
I think,
Does he hear like a loud lightning strike right beside him that throws him off?
I think it's... See, I hadn't thought about this. I think it's kind of more like when I use Bend Luck or something like that. So, like, I just kind of reach out into the air and twist. Like
just will it
pulling
away.
the magic away from him.
Okay. Almost how you like channel your magic, or almost like a reverse surge, and you pull the magic through towards you, and then it dissipates, and Ball, you're unaffected. And his cephalopod, elongated skull and head, his mouth is just going to open in shock as he's looking to all of you. Felix is going to do something, and then Vesper.
I'm sure he doesn't want to move a little bit, just cause?
Yeah, we'll say he moves back 30 feet.
Awesome. Booming Blade.
Okay.
I can re-roll it unless you want to keep the damage that's there.
How much is it?
It's 12 thunder damage if triggered.
Okay. Still alive, just barely, as he turns, no legs, but on serpentine snake body, to flee, and immediately this large sound booms, echoing through the hallway. Still up, just barely.
So, I was reminded in the chat that I forgot to roll to see if I got a wild surge, and I did.
All right, what's that number?
I rolled a 3. So let me roll 30.
You can teleport up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space of your choice you can see.
Huh.
So the hallway goes down maybe 100 more feet.
So I think what I'm going to do is to... How much can I see?
And he's about... it's just a straight hallway. He's about 60 feet away from you.
He is?
Yeah, I haven't moved him on the map because it's not big enough.
Okay. You know what? I'm just going to teleport to about 15 feet in front of him, but off to the side a little bit on the edge of the corridor.
You can get beside him, but not ahead of him.
Right. I don't want to move quite beside him.
Okay.
I still want to be like on our side,
sure.
And just grin at him.
Okay. You feel this swelling beside you, like a pressure at first, and you feel like wetness on your cheeks as a cloud opens up ahead above you. You feel yourself being pulled, raptured up into it, and then descend, appear, dropping out of a cloud with a few raindrops, just a few feet near him, smirking. Felix slings an ice bolt towards the creature, who's kind of zigzagging, serpentining back and forth, and it just goes over his shoulder, bringing us to Vesper.
All right. Well, is Ellery within range of him, like melee of him, or?
No, I wanted to have some distance.
Melee, but yeah, close to him, but not in melee.
Sorry, before was I supposed to have an attack of opportunity since you ran away?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got distracted by your booming bite, so you could also do that.
Yeah, I got distracted by them too. Yeah, so I'll just heal attack and do booming blade again.
I'm not even going to take my turn.
Sorry, this might kind of speed things along if it just dies, is what I was thinking. Does an 18 hit?
Yeah, 18 hits.
And then that's 13 bludgeoning, and then the first part of the blade would be 12 thunder.
He had 3 hit points left.
Sweet. Okay, so maybe it's like...
Is there like a second echo boom that kills him on his way out or something?
Maybe just it all happens at once. Like in that moment where his salamander jaw thing drops when he gets counterspelled, and he just takes like one step back as he's about to turn and start running. And in that step back, Ball sees the opening and just swings with his hammer. And just as his hammer connects, him stepping back also triggers the boom. So it's just kind of like a
double boom.
Yeah, like a double boom, like a boom boom pow.
Yeah. Okay, so boom boom pow. He is crushed, broken on the floor. A few moments pass, and there's no immediate new onslaught. As you're going to collect yourselves in this chamber. Do you guys want to take a break now? Or do you guys want to kind of set up the next situation and then take a break?
I'm cool with setting up a situation and then taking a break. Yeah. How are you guys doing?
I can wait a couple more minutes.
Okay. That way we can kind of jump in and be locked in and for the big thing. So you guys are moving. Take a second to recover. Are you guys doing anything? I don't mean to stomp on you if you wanted to say something.
Paul's got nothing. He just kind of gets ready to go to the next area.
I think Vesper looks frustrated, but she's been kind of frustrated for a while, so this is just another kicks the wall kind of, and then.
So you guys proceed down this hallway that goes and eventually opens up into another chamber where there's not quite pews, but set up almost like a temple. These aren't chairs like a person with legs would sit in, but they're rows of places where you might bend down to pray with an altar at the front. The altar has what looks like blood in a fountain, kind of spurting out. You can feel the heat from it, even with your mantle of ash. And beyond that, the hall beyond it leads down to a spiral staircase that rotates down. There's no central column, though. It's just an open pit that goes down. You're following it around until you get to its base, and you can feel the heat getting hotter as you go down. And you can hear, all of you now, this boom, 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 reverberating. You can feel it in your chest. You can hear it in your ears. It's hard to speak because it's loud. When you get down to the bottom, there's no door, but there's a threshold leading into a very large chamber isn't the right word, but almost like a ravine, an inner sanctum. It doesn't look synthetic or built anymore. It just seems like a natural cavernous chamber. There's no more carved stone steps, but just a ramp that's rough of rock that leads down and rotates around. And in the middle is a pit of magma, lava, the heat rising up from it. Every now and then bursts of flames flare up from it. And at the end of this spiraling ramp, there's a bridge that leads over to an island in the center. And in that center, there's some walls that rise up. You see movement of some more of these creatures. But in the center, you can see where the thum of the beating heart is coming from. You see a massive form of cardiac tissue of a 8-chambered heart. Massive, the size of Vladis, this heart is. And you can hear it beating, booming, as you see the creatures beginning to react. So I'm going to set you guys up on my map so you can see what we're talking about. And for funsies' sake, we're going to start you guys closer to, well, let's just see, what do you guys want to do as you see this cavern open up? You can see the heart in the center. The central island is maybe 40 feet down from the very peak where you guys are now, but this ramp goes down. So about right here, it's about equal level with the island. Or, I'm sorry, down to the bottom, it's about equal level, if that makes sense.
You mentioned a bridge?
There's a bridge at the very bottom.
Okay, I can't see it from where I am on the map.
So yeah, the dynamic lighting is a little weird, but because they're for the walls, but you're actually looking above the walls, so you can see in the bottom right a bridge. You can see a few figures beginning to move around next to the heart. They're all wearing those symbols around their necks that are glowing slightly. It looks just like a stone on chain. Kind of resembles Emberstones, actually, a little bit. Not quite, but similar. And they're beginning to react to you all. See you moving down.
I think that at the point where we are on the map right now, I'm probably not quite in range because of the height difference. But I think as soon as I can get within 150 feet of that bridge, I want to go ahead and cast Storm Sphere right there.
Okay. So we'll say we'll pick up right there with initiative, basically.
Next time on Back to the Story.
The heart that is pumping, almost floating in midair, there's a pool of blood beneath it that's kind of dripping from the severed aortas of the heart. And from it you see movement. You see something long kind of reveal at the cusp of the blood pool, serpentining through it before you see a head start to reveal itself.
For part 2 of this episode of Back to the Story, you can find it on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. We also have a YouTube channel called Back to the Story, an actual play podcast. If you'd like to support the show, feel free to buy us a coffee at ko-fi.com/backtothestory.